whenever it's open, but you can do the 5-man version as many times as you want, as long as you keep giving the NPC the vault tickets. These things. So every time you enter with your party, each member has to use 1 vault ticket. So, clearly you're going to need 5 vault tickets per run. But if you're doing the solo version, you can just do that once, and there's a daily quest right here. So, before we get to that, how do you actually get to this alliance zone, or your alliance's, what is it called, the hall? Basically, whenever you first join a guild, if your guild is allied with an alliance, such as the guild that I'm in right now, Candy Dandy, we are currently allied with Enlightened Union. Once your guild is allied with one of the 3 alliances, you get a skill, which is the alliance skill, and there's a teleport right here. You drag that onto your quick bar, and then just teleport there. I just map mine to F12, it really doesn't matter. But the cooldown on this is 30 minutes, and then once you use it, it teleports you into this hall right here. And here are the 2 NPCs. So this NPC is for the solo vault, and this one is for the 5-man vault. Now every day, whenever you first log in and the daily quests have reset, this vault keeper right here is going to have this purple mark for the daily alliance quest, which will award you these things called Noctinium Infusions, which you can use to boost your DPS. It's like a consumable activate. What is the term? Toggle. And yeah, so basically the whole point of you wanting to run the vault is you get these jewelry right here. People say it's PvP jewelry, but honestly, because of the new patch, there's a lack of good jewelry as it is. So you can use these for PvE, since a lot of these give you a lot of crit chance and a lot of stats that you would need to do a lot more damage in PvE. So let's go teleport in, and I'm just gonna do the solo version because I don't really feel like doing the 5-man version unless everyone in my guild is on. So we're just gonna run to the solo really fast. Now, once you enter the solo version, once you clear it, it has a cooldown of 3 hours. So for those 3 hours, you can't do the solo version anymore. However, you can keep doing the 5-man version as many times as you want. So it's going to be a one-on-one fight with the BAM each time. There's this BAM, and then there's like this dragon BAM, and then a Cyclops BAM. So let's just go and down this thing right here. And the likelihood of you actually dying in this solo vault is actually pretty low. Like, these things don't hit for a lot. However, I'm only saying that because I'm a berserker, so I'm not really. I think your the quality of your solo might vary based on class. And so right now I'm using a full +12 ambit gear, so I'm decently geared for this. This is perfectly doable in Edonial gear, which is the level 65 starting gear, and it's also doable in the level 62 Amina gear, although if you do get hit, you're going to be hit for quite a bit of damage. So you're going to want to dodge if you're going to be using any lower tier armor. So occasionally once you hit the BAM, it'll drop MP regen motes and HP regen motes, but I wouldn't count on these things trying to stay alive. Like, if you don't get hit, it's best not to get hit. And as you notice on my like the right corner right there, there's a timer. Basically what this timer shows is, one, it kind of is like a DPS check, so how much DPS you're actually dealing to these BAMs, and it shows you like how well geared you are for the content right now. At the same time, however, once that timer hits 5 minutes, you're gonna get a buff that regens health per second. No, it's not per second, I'm sorry. I believe it is like, it's health regen per 5 seconds. It also gives you a power buff, and it stacks, I think it does. I'm not sure, because I haven't been using it a lot. But yeah, so if you're under geared, what a good strat is, you could just run around inside the solo vault until you actually hit the buff, because at that point you're probably not going to die. Oh man. I'm not hitting these back crits very well, so this is taking a little bit longer than it really should. Oh well, screw that. Alright, so once you kill it, it's going to drop some stuff, and as you see, usually it drops jewelry, a vault ticket, and then these gold finger tokens. Now, what you want to do with these gold finger tokens, there it is. Alright, once you get 80 of these things, you can trade it for an undergarment bag, which then gives you innerwear. So this is actually worth running if you want to get innerwear. If you're DPS, I definitely recommend the 12 crit one, unless you're a warrior. If you're a warrior, I think if you use the 6 power one, that should be fine too. And I'm not really sure what the innerwear tanks should use, like Lancers. I feel like the endurance one might be okay, but I feel like if you go crit on Lancers, it might not be a huge deal. I'm not sure though, because I'm a Berserker main, so I mean, it's very, very easy gearing up Berserkers. But yeah, you also get these jewelry. It's differentiated into 3 types. Bloodwise gives you attack speed and power. Let's see. Deathwise gives you crit, and where's Frostwise? There's Frostwise is the healing one. So if you're a warrior, I would definitely recommend Bloodwise. And if you're like a Reaper, Archer, Sorcerer, Berserker, pretty much any other DPS class, I would recommend the Deathwise. And of course, you're a healer, so if you're a Mystic or a Priest, I would definitely recommend Frostwise. So what you do is, because the set bonuses of these vault jewelries are based on how many other pieces of the set you actually own, I would recommend going 2 Deathwise hoops and then 2 Bloodwise rings. Now the Bloodwise ring by itself has less base stats than the Deathwise does, but that 6 power bonus I feel like is definitely worth it. Whereas if you already have the 2 set bonus of Deathwise, which is the 12 crit, the attack speed, endurance, and then the resistance to crit isn't that big of a deal, honestly. So yeah, I would definitely mix Deathwise with the Bloodwise right here. And yeah, I guess that's it. So after that happens, you know, you just reset this instance, and then you wait 3 hours before you can do the solo again. I do want to point out, however, that just because your cooldown is off doesn't mean your alliance can actually enter the vault. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a sec. So you can open up your alliance menu. The default key is Z, unless you map it to a different key, it doesn't really matter. Click on the standings tab and then click Vault Access Hours. Now before you do that, I definitely recommend that you sync your computer's clock, because then it'll give you the time that's actually synced to your local time. Otherwise the schedule might be a little bit off. So right now, as you see, it's 1 a.m. and the Enlightened Union, the alliance that the guild is allied with, we have access to the vault. But as you can see, the other alliances, the Iron Order and Free Traders Collective, they also have access to the vault later on. And what determines these vault access hours is the number of keys that you run in the alliance territory. I might make a video about just like alliances in general later on, but probably not now. So basically, if your alliance doesn't have access to the hours, then you can't use the vaults. That includes the solo and the 5-man vault, so you would have to wait till the next time it's open. It's not really a huge deal, just usually I like to keep track of like whenever it's open, so the next time it's open is at 2 a.m. Now unfortunately, because the vault has a 3-hour cooldown, I can't do the solo version, but at 2 a.m. I can keep doing the 5-man version if I wanted. So yeah, definitely worth doing. Once you get your set of jewelry, then you're pretty much set from what you need in terms of the Alliance Vault.